Hi, I'm Marilyn, and I want to welcome you today to Exposing Grief. When we expose anything, it becomes less threatening. To expose loss and grief will provide us with some emotional control. In 2020, we laid the foundation for these conversations. Over 12 episodes, we explained how loss and grief can and does occur at any age or any stage in life. You can go back and listen to those foundational podcast episodes, or you can begin listening today as part of your personal journey to be more emotionally and mentally healthy. This journey to emotional well-being is personal. You cannot force or coerce anyone to become healthy, whether physically or emotionally. A person has to want to be healthy and must be willing to do all the hard work in order to see results. You might ask yourself, how do I reconnect with my spouse once we become empty nesters? Of course, it is always better not to disconnect, but if you find yourself in the situation where you and your spouse seem to have nothing to say to each other once your children have become adults, don't lose heart. There is a way back to connectivity. As parents, we spend a great deal of time meeting the needs of our children. Generally, we want them to have great childhood memories. We want this for our children even if our own childhood memories were not so great. We strive to provide them with vacations and outings that we hope they won't forget. Sometimes parenting children can go on for 20 to 30 years or more. That is a lot of time and energy that we have spent hoping to make others happy, but neglecting our own marital relationships. It is a wise couple who can balance both, because at some point it will be just the two of you once again, as it was in the beginning. After so much time spent raising children, it should not be a surprise if the two of you find that you have drifted apart. The divorce rate against empty nesters is high. It is normal to feel a sense of loss once all of your children become adults. Some people try to delay this feeling of loss by allowing their adult children and even grandchildren to continue to live in the family home. In fact, many times the mother will continue to do laundry, cook meals, and sometimes even provide gas money to the adult child if they are a little short for the month. This is not healthy for the adult child or for the parents. Imagine someone at the age of 40 or older not knowing how to live on their own. When you live on your own, you make different decisions and you have to figure life out on your own. That is a good thing. In your own space, you learn to problem solve and prioritize and other valuable life skills. Mothers or fathers can be the one to feel the greatest sense of loss when children grow up. Sometimes you both have that sense of loss, and those feelings can surprise or even frighten you. Most people are so busy parenting, they forget that someday their own children will be parents. When you forget, and that day does come, you can feel lost or even bewildered. Talk to each other about your feelings. There is no shame in feeling a little sad and a sense of loss. You have not gone down this road before. If you have trouble talking to each other about your feelings, don't be afraid to get professional counseling in order to help you define your next steps. It can be a bit overwhelming for some people to realize that their children are adults and they now live with someone they don't know or have forgotten. One of the first things the two of you will want to do is decide if you want to be together for this next phase in life. Try to think back to why you wanted to marry and raise children with this particular individual. That is only a starting point. Do you still like them as a person? If you were being introduced to each other for the first time, would you want to get to know each other better? For some people, they give up and think they can never find their way back to the romance and the fire that used to be in their lives. If you can even find a spark, then you are on your way to a wonderful empty nester experience. Who really wants to start over after investing 30 to 40 years of your life with someone? All relationships take work. Whether you have been married 3 months, 3 years, or 30 years, don't feel that because you're older, you should have anything figured out. You may feel like strangers to each other, and if you had poor communication skills before your children grew up, then that lack of communication just seems larger and more noticeable. These may seem like insurmountable problems. They are not. You both have to want your marriage to work. It's hard work too, but you're both probably more certain of who you are as people and that you have learned really important things about each other that can help you navigate living a fun and fabulous after child rearing life together. Another way to approach whether you want to do the hard work of navigating this new adventure together is to ask yourself how it would feel not to see one another every day. If that thought gives you pause, then hold on to each other until the uncertainty of this time passes. If given the chance, you probably would marry each other all over again because deep down, they are your person. Dream of your future together, make plans, laugh about the past and how insecure you both were. Know that you raised your children well, so you know that you can face anything together. These conversations about loss, grief, and emotional well-being are necessary and perhaps well overdue. Be a part of these important conversations. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to visit with you next time on Exposing Grief.